So we should almost be there. We're on that side trail off of the Walker Creek Trail, and we're going up in elevation, and the next trail to the Faery Falls will be down on our left. The trail actually drops back down again to the creek and to the Faery Falls. It's sometimes totally overgrown and can be very hard to find and easy to miss. So you got to really keep an eye out for it on the left. I think it was shortly after this big boulder, if I recall. I haven't been up here in 2 or 3 years, so I don't remember exactly where the trail head to, but I can actually hear the Faery Falls from here off to our left. That sound that we're hearing is the sound of cascading water down a little waterfall. But even if we don't find the trail down to the Faery Falls, that's okay, because our main objective today is actually up above the Faery Falls to find some reishi mushroom. Oh, this might be it. Yeah, this is it. So that's the path to find the reishi mushroom. But first we're going to take this left, and we're going to drop down hopefully to the Faery Falls and find out how it... Yeah, this is it. This is the path to the Faery Falls. And that actually might be the path to the mushrooms. I can't remember if it's that one or that one. We're going to check this one out first after we come down here and back. Okay, we made it to the Faery Falls. Woohoo! I'm going to have to shout for this video because the water's pretty loud. So the Faery Falls isn't quite as impressive as the Elephant Pools. The Elephant Pools is actually a triple falls that goes around a corner. So you can only see the first cascading fall in the Elephant Pools. You got to go around the corner to see the other 2 falls. But this is really pretty, and it is rushing water. And it's very small elevation drop with the waterfalls. That drop right there is only about 3 feet. That drop right there is about 1.5 feet. And that drop right up there is maybe 5 or 6 feet. So it's not a huge drop in elevation from the waterfalls, but it is a pretty and a very secluded and private area here in the middle of Big Ivy National Forest, which is part of the Pisgah National Forest Service system. So next we're going to go further up the trail to try and find some reishi mushrooms. We'll see you up there, up that way. Okay folks, I'm pretty sure this is the spot where the reishi mushrooms were. I recall them growing abundantly on that tree and that tree where all the critter holes are, and even over here on this stump where a tree fell, and I don't see any. There's none. They were all over this area right above the Faery Falls. It only took us another 2 minutes to get here from the trail to the Faery Falls. So either somebody came up here and harvested them all, or they're just all died off because they're no longer in season. And they're all just gone for the season. I don't see any evidence of reishi in this area whatsoever. Okay, so with the addition of a couple more flat rocks, we made it safely across this creek crossing here on Walker Creek Trail without getting too wet. We got a little bit of water on our feet, but not too much at all. So that's it for today's hike to the Faery Falls. It was a beautiful hike. We saw the waterfalls. Oh, we got to do our underwater camera. So the next clip in this series, we're going to splice it in with DaVinci Resolve. We're going to do an underwater shot with our action camera with the waterproof housing to see what it looks like underneath the water in this creek. So see you in a minute. So a biker just carried his bike across the trail right there. And there he goes, mountain biking down the trail. These guys really fly down here really fast. He just stopped really quick, jumped off, carried his bike, didn't even get wet. Not one foot got wet. He had a great time, I'm sure, up there in the woods. There's a beautiful trail up there. See you down the creek.